Headers on a C6 are awesome until you deal with the biggest problem, heat. And it doesn't just make your bay hot, it starts cooking all the stuff around them. Starter, wiring, plug boots, sensors, lines, factory shielding, even your alternator. So in this video, I'm going to pull the headers to get coated. We're going to do a complete heat management refresh. We're going to go through all the things that are prone to heat damage on these cars because of the headers. We're going to change some stuff out. We're going to protect some stuff. I'm going to show you step by step how I do it, and we will reveal the color of the headers at the end of the video. So there is lots to do. I am feeling a little bit under the weather, but it is my last free weekend that I have to work on this car. And we do have a dyno day coming up, which is probably the most important thing that we have to fix on this car is the shitty tune. So let's get to work.
That sun has got me hazy. My head is spinning like a daydream. I sip this honey till my brain fades. That summer sun, she got me hazy. Right now my mind is on vacation. Soaking up the sweet sensation. The way that ocean keeps on waving. Right now my mind is on vacation. My mind is on vacation. Blue sky. Look burning down from both sides, don't mind. If I fade away for a while, floating to the indigo wayside. Oh, I'm just along for the ride. Right now my mind is on vacation. Oh, soaking up the sweet sensation. Oh, the way that ocean keeps on waving. Right now.
Holy shit. Don't forget to unplug the O2 sensors like I did.
My mind is on vacation.
In order to drop the passenger side headers down, we're going to have to disconnect these two dry sump lines. Just two 13mm bolts, one for each line, and a 13mm bolt for this little retaining bracket. Now we can pull both lines out and drain the oil. These two lines do have O-rings, which we will be replacing later in the video. Now don't do what I did and wait for that oil to completely drain before trying to remove this, because you will get oil in your eye. Now we have all the plugs and wires out along with the O2 sensors. Now we can focus on getting the old header gasket off of these flanges. Use a plastic razor for these, do not use a steel razor. I never actually got to see these headers. I purchased them and shipped them straight to the shop, and they were installed along with my cam. I must say, the quality on these is spectacular. So we are headed to drop the headers off. I debated whether or not to coat them or wrap them, but it seemed pretty unanimous in the comments. You guys said to absolutely not wrap the headers because they can trap moisture and cause problems in the future. So we're not going to wrap the headers. We're going to drop them off to get Cerakoted. I still may wrap the X-pipe though. While the headers are away getting coated, we still have plenty more to do. We'll start with these O2 sensors and get the old anti-seize off with a brass brush. We will be replacing this starter, which seems to be the original, but since it's out, we have access to things we wouldn't have if it was in place, including the crank position sensor. Now, there is nothing wrong with my crank position sensor, but it's just one of those things you'll never have access to until right now, so I'm just going to change it. You'll also need to do a relearn procedure, which I will do in a follow-up video, so subscribe to see that. Just sticking a rag to cover this hole so I don't accidentally drop a bolt in it. Now be very careful when removing this pigtail. It's under constant heat, so the plastic may be brittle. Just take your time and be ginger with it. One 10mm bolt holding the sensor in place. Just apply a little bit of fresh engine oil on the O-ring so it doesn't bunch up on the way in. Also clean the hull just in case there's any debris. And carefully and evenly push the new sensor in until it clicks. And you can torque this bolt to 18 foot-pounds. Going to plug this back in, and I notice that the wire shielding is cracked. There's also a few other spots around that have some frays from the headers going in and out, so we're going to fix that. We're going to use some of this DEI cool tape that I had in a previous video. This stuff is awesome. It can withstand 2,000 degrees of radiant heat, so we're going to use this to kind of patch up some areas. Just removing this engine ground nut just so I can manipulate the wires easier. And now you're looking driver's side of the engine bay. This is the clutch line, arguably one of the most important things to protect from the radiant heat of the headers. This looks like some OEM heat shielding blanket thing, so it's seen better days. So let's get this out of here, and I have a much better thing to replace it with. Sticking with the DEI theme, this is their heat shroud. It's essentially a hook and loop or Velcro sleeve, so you don't need to remove any lines to install. It protects lines, hoses, wires, and it can withstand up to 2,000 degrees. If you're interested in this, I'll leave it in the description. So we're going to apply this the same as factory, but we're going to use the side that we cut that doesn't have a seam for the zip tie so that it doesn't fray over time. And we're just going to apply the zip tie over that metal fitting towards the front of the car. And we're just going to rotate the Velcro side away from the headers. But now the clutch line is protected. This should be much more resistant to heat than that old, tired factory shield. And yet again, another DEI product. Now these seem to be extremely controversial. For some reason, people seem to be 50-50 on these. I personally can only see benefit to these, so I'm just going to run them. But if enough people in the comments convince me I shouldn't be using them, then I'll just take them off. It's easy. But these are cool. They're like sleeves. One side has a fixed ring and the other side is loose. This titanium variant of these boots protects up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit radiant heat. We're going to slip these over the wires, but first I'm just going to clean them up a little bit. Now we turn our attentions to the starter, the number one thing that people told me would mess up from the heat of the headers. Now, considering we're getting the headers coated, that's going to protect the starter quite a bit more than if they were not, but also just for extra safety measures, I'm going to put some cool tape and protect the solenoid and the housing of this starter as well. So I'm just starting here by cleaning the surface with some alcohol, and I'm going to put some cool tape on the solenoid and the housing. So I just covered everything that I possibly can aside from the vent holes. I kept those open for obvious reasons. So in theory, from the protection on the headers and the protection on the starter directly, this should withstand anything. Finally got the headers back, so let's unwrap them and see what they look like. absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's get some nickel anti-seize on these O2 sensors and get them installed. Some replacement Remflex header gaskets. These are those two dry sump O-rings that you need to replace. A little bit of clean oil on each side of the O-ring. Torque these to 18 foot-pounds. Reinstall the J-hook retaining bracket. And obviously, you will need to change your oil. These look killer inside the engine bay. The color is so rad. Loco Performance did a fantastic job coating these things. Super fair pricing, and they got it back to me faster than they initially said. I'll leave their info down in the description. If you're in the area, I highly recommend them. I have yet to torque these down and get the spark plug wires back because I'm still waiting on some ARP hardware, but we are that much closer to starting this up. Between the coating being good for up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit and all the steps we took to protect the starter and the clutch line amongst all the other things, hopefully this will be enough to prevent any sort of heat damage. I just wish this was all addressed during the cam install, but it is what it is. I learned a lot during this process. We've got just a few more things to button up, some fluids. We got to get the rest of the exhaust up and some other little things, and we can finally start her up and get her retuned. So subscribe. Hopefully in the next video we can get to all that.